Spawn room challenges have always been one of my favorite things about zombies. Not just to do, but to watch. The skill and precision for certain players to go as far as possible without making any progress into the map. Some of these records are astounding that players can get as far as they do, such as Shades on Verrucht with around 42, or Sunley on Die Rise with an impressive 67 rounds. The technical skill as well as the ability to be at 100% is something to be commended. But there are some spawn rooms that aren't just about knowledge of zombie pathing or movement. Some spawn rooms have quirks about them. Certain things that make the idea of trying to hold out in them just a little more compelling to the average player. Call of the Dead has a very interesting spawn room. One because it's quite more open than usual, along with having a large pool of freezing water, giving the player a bit of a safety net. But the major element to this room is that George spawns in right in front of you. Now normally the first instinct would be to open all the doors and put as much distance between you and him as possible. But we're going to actually use him to our advantage. You see, in solo, if you buy Quick Revive, the game believes the power is on, therefore it will drop the Death Machine power up. If we time it right, we can use it to kill George in just 2 Death Machines. As I'm sure many of you know, George drops perks. If we were to get Jug first, we just might have a shot of getting somewhere here. Origins is a map with so much content, but there's a little taste you can get from just the spawn. Origins was the first Treyarch map to add challenges the player can do separate to the main quest that can offer rewards. One of these is a pack-a-punched gun for getting 115 headshots. So if we train carefully and aim high, we just might get this weapon, which can be a great help in going a little farther in the room than normal. 9 is a map the player already spends a majority of the game in the spawn room, but what if we were to take it as far as we could? Like Origins, 9 has a challenge system, but this one is random. Never knowing which you'll get can lead to a few resets. The goal is to get any challenge that can be done just in the spawn room, so we need to avoid the sliding under the blade trap or surviving around in the temple. If we can do that, we can get not just a pack-a-punched pistol, but if we're lucky, as far as a free perk. Forsaken is a spawn room with one of the most unique mechanics, as the rounds constantly go up the longer you stay in, and the zombies continuously spawn in. There is something the player can use to fend off the rapidly increasing difficulty, and that is the crafting bench and armor station. Buying kill streaks as well as armor can offset the lack of perks such as Jug and Speed Cola. But there's one perk the spawn room does have: Death Perception, which can grant the player even more salvage drops, complementing the existing bench and armor station. Staying alive in this spawn room always provides a good time as well as a challenge due to the round mechanics. And mechanics is what leads us to the last spawn room I wish to highlight, one that is also made unique due to the game's mechanics. The Archon has one single wall buy in its spawn, the SVT, which isn't necessarily the best gun in the world, but there is something that can help the player with more damage. Vanguard has a mechanic where the higher rounds you reach, the wall guns become pack-a-punched over time. The higher the round, the higher the pack-a-punch level. So if the player can survive long enough and is careful enough, a packed gun awaits them for use. Along with the secret rampage inducer, if the player is looking for a real challenge, this spawn room certainly has it.